Hello, we're here with another week of the Office Hours Livecast. So glad that you decided to join this week. This is going to be a great week for you. Not only because Sunday is the beginning of the week, right? And it's always good to come into these sessions to get the juice to help you sustain your motivation throughout the week. But it's also going to help you make sure that you're going into this next week with a mindset of, okay, how am I going to be able to prioritize the things that are important? Many of you are finishing up midterms. Maybe this may be your last week of midterms for some of you, and many of you now are looking to hit the end of the semester with a bang. So that's what I'm here to help you do. So right now that many of you are finished with the midterms and things of that nature, now is really time to start focusing on, all right, what's my next step? What do I need to accomplish to finish out the semester strong? So that's what I'm here to do today. Today's going to be fun. I'm proud of you for coming back each and every week. As always, I'm here to help you learn the strategic things, but also the practical things that you need to be doing on a daily basis to help you move forward each and every day. So that's what we're here. And today we're particularly talking about how do you prioritize to help hit your goals faster. Sometimes we have so many things from each and every direction we're trying to accomplish, right? But it can be hard trying to figure out, okay, what do I need to be paying attention to? What do I need to be focused on? I have 6 different classes and I don't know how to prioritize my work in each and every class. I got this assignment due this day, this homework due that day. You got group projects and a lot of different things could be hitting you from each and every direction. So sometimes it's hard to say, okay, how do I do all of this? And it's easy for you to get overwhelmed, feeling like you have to do everything all at once and everything is due around the same time. So today is just to help you clear some of these things in your mind to say, okay, all right, here's the different things that I'm working on, and here are the things that are most important to me. Here's the things that are coming up, because sometimes it can be difficult when you have, okay, I have a big project coming up and this one is very important, but it's not due to like another month, right? 3-4 weeks. But then you have something that's not as that's not as important, but it is due sooner, and then you feel like you only have a limited amount of time. So how do I allocate this time and get all this stuff done without stressing yourself out or without feeling overwhelmed? So that's really what today's conversation is going to be about. But nonetheless, I'm proud of you for being here. Continue to come back each and every week, each and every Sunday as we go through these. I told you every so often we're gonna hand out prizes and gifts and things of that nature. And today I'm gonna be giving away some copies of my new book that's scheduled to come out this fall, The Fastest Way to Winning College, the most updated advanced version of all the knowledge in my head, but more strategic and practical in regards to helping you finish out this school year and then your entire degree strong. So that's what I'm gonna be giving out today. All right. So without further ado, we're gonna jump into it. First, what is prioritization? What does it mean to prioritize? Well, one, and I'm sure you already know this, but it's always good to know what the dictionary definition is. Prioritize, when you're talking about priorities or how to prioritize, you're really looking at what is more important than something else. That's the only thing prioritization means. What is this thing, or whatever this this activity, this task, this anything, just what is this thing that's more important than this other thing or this other group of things? So what takes precedence over something else? And that's all it really is. So you could prioritize anything in your life. You could prioritize relationships. You could prioritize things in your health, things that you do in your health. You could prioritize how you could prioritize what do you spend money on. You could prioritize, your work at school. What do I work on first? What's most important? You could prioritize a lot of things. So, but what to you is what's most important? And how I really want you to think about it. And we're going to jump into what are some of the things to help you make decisions when it comes to discovering, okay, is this a priority? Is this something that I really need to make sure that is on my radar? How do you distinguish that, and how do you order it in your mind to whether you should do something first, something second, or what kind of how do you just think about that whole process? And there's three things I'm gonna give you today. The first thing when it comes to trying to figure out what your priorities are or how to prioritize is I want you to prioritize based on goals. Prioritize based on your goals. So whatever your major goals are, right? So if you're in school, you can say, okay, well, one of my major goals is to, and if you know about the graduation trifecta, then you know you should have a good idea of, all right, what your goals are, because you know what the graduation trifecta stands for. It's the 3 E's, right? Education, experience, and expression. So hopefully one of your goals are to, hey, all right, let me make sure that my education is taken care of, because at the end of the day, that's why you're in college, right? So, all right, so my academics is important. So when it comes to school, if that's one of your goals, right, you want to say, okay, well, I got to make sure that I want to get at least a B in every one of my classes, right? I want to get an A, or whatever the case is. Well, if academics is your goal, then to get an A or B, a certain grade in the class, then now you want to be able to prioritize based on what that goal is. So you would say, okay, let me figure out what my goals are for and you can do this in different areas of your life. So it might be for school. All right, my goals for school is let me get good grades. My goals for my goal for health is let me make sure I lose 20 pounds within the next 90 days or 60 or 6 months. My goal is I want to make sure that I get in a loving relationship or whatever the case is, right? So you can have goals for different areas of your life, and I want you to prioritize based on your goals. And that means that when it comes to tasks, any kind of activities, anything related to how you're going to spend your time and how you're going to spend your energy, I want you to spend that towards, I want you to put those the things that you do towards whatever your goals are, right? So let's say let's say we're going with the academic side of it. Then you want to say, okay, right now I have work due for these, right? I have homework due for these 4 different classes. I have a project due for one class. I have an assignment due. I have a test coming up, right? Do that prioritization based on first making sure that, all right, my goal is to get better grades, and I know these few classes I'm doing pretty fairly well in, but this class I'm not really doing too good in English or in chemistry, and my goal is to make sure I get the best grades possible. So you want to allocate your time, your energy towards making sure that you, especially if you have limited time, you want to make sure that you spend, all right, let me make sure that I'm hitting these points because I got this chemistry test coming up, and I got to make sure that I got to get a good grade on this, make sure I get at least an 80, and start off with that. So it might be, hey, all right, let me put like a good 2 hours today, this week. I'm gonna put 2 hours a day towards studying. So this, I might do an hour in the morning, an hour in the evening, or whatever that case is, and then you prioritize, based on for the rest of the classes, and I would say start off with the hardest classes first, because if your goal is to get good grades and you spend less time on the thing that you don't do the best in, then when you're on stage and it's showtime, then you're not gonna get the best grades that you want to get and hit that goal that you want. All right, so that would be the first thing that I'll say. Prioritize everything based on your goal. So it's all going to start with the goal. You got to know what that is first before you do anything. Okay, so now you have a goal in mind. That's number 1. Then number 2, I want you to prioritize based on impact. That means based on what's going to give you the biggest bang for your buck. What's going to help move the needle the best for you. Like what's going to be the biggest and best result for you to in order for you to achieve your goal even faster. So that talks about our if you read the email, that goes into what opportunity cost is. And opportunity cost is anytime you decide to take a course of action or any decision that you make in your life, you are deciding that you're going to spend that amount of time and that amount of energy doing that one thing, doing whatever that one task or one activity is, it is costing you some amount of time, some amount of energy that you could have put towards something else that could have possibly given you a better result, right? So, so if you are, you're trying to be the fastest, runner, right? Let's say you're doing track and field. You're trying to be the fastest runner, right? Get the best time that you can. Well, you could spend your energy and effort trying to figure that out by, let's say if you have, 90 days or whatever, to make sure that you get up to a certain speed. Well, you could spend all of your time just strictly reading books, so strictly watching videos for the 90 days, and then you can get out there and then try running, right? That's going to give you some results. You might be able to, you might have learned some techniques, and you might be able to run a little bit faster, but you spent that amount of time every day for 90 days just watching videos, right? Or you could spend a certain amount of time allocating towards getting a coach that's going to help you in your techniques. Spend a certain amount of time going out there every day and actually practicing. Spend a certain amount of time, learning and reading. Certain amount of time making sure that your health is on point. Making sure that you have the energy. Making sure that you're eating the right meals. So instead of spending, if you only had 2 hours a day to give towards you being the fastest runner, that 2 hours could be, you could have spent that 2 hours just strictly learning, reading, or watching videos, or you could spend that 2 hours per day, or 14 hours a week, making sure that you have your coaches helping you, making sure that you're out there, practicing and running, make sure that you're out there spending those hours learning, eating the right things and getting healthy. So do you get how you spending one certain amount of time over another, that's costing you a certain amount of opportunity? So that's what opportunity cost is. So prioritize everything in life based on what's going to give you the biggest bang for your buck. That's going to help you make the best and the fastest progress throughout your goals. So if you're looking at trying to get an internship, right? And you might say, hey, my goal is I want to make sure that I get 2 internships this year. Well, you could spend time trying to get an internship, just applying for internships online, which can help, right? Or you can spend certain time so actually getting on the phone, calling people, trying to figure out, okay, what are the local companies in my area that I could try to get an internship with? So prioritize based on, and how do you figure out what's the best and fastest way to go do something? Ask around, learn, watch videos, try to find somebody who already works at, that company, or try to find somebody who already has the best grades. Like if I was trying to get the best grades and I was trying to get straight A's, what I would do is I would try to find the smartest students, either in the classes that I'm not doing the best in. So like if I didn't do well in chemistry, I would try to find the smartest students in those classes to try to tutor me, to help me, say, how are you figuring this out? How are you thinking about this? And you can do that in any area of your life. If you have a goal, for health, then, don't ask the fattest person that hey, what's the best way that I could lose weight and be fit? Try to find somebody who, who's very fit, and try to figure out what they're doing, what are they eating, what are they thinking about before they pick up, a piece of food. You get what I'm saying? So it's important to prioritize based on impact, because that's going to help you move faster instead of doing these little things that's going to take you so slow to get there. Find the best people and try to find best resources that's going to help you take those, that's going to help you move faster and take those leaps. All right. So that is the second thing when it comes to making sure choosing your priorities. Third thing is to prioritize based on future value. Future value. What is that? What's this future value, right? And future value is what is the potential that this opportunity has for me that could really benefit me in the future? So sometimes when you're prioritizing things and you're trying to figure out, okay, what's most important, what should I do? always the immediate benefit that's going to help you. Sometimes you got to prioritize based on okay, what future opportunities could this possibly bring me? Like for example, my fiance Amina, right now, one of the things that she's doing, she's very busy with law school and trying to figure some things out and do work and everything, but she allocates a certain amount of her time to do an internship. And although it may seem counterintuitive and it takes some time away from having to do the projects, having to do the study and doing those things, what she'll do is she'll spend a certain amount of time, a few times each week, to go to an internship. And this internship, it might not necessarily have the most value right now, but it definitely can have a future value, with connections and networking and different things. And you can use that example, for anything. It just always try to look at, okay, what could possibly pan out from me doing this? What could possibly happen for me now, for the future, if I do this and I put this time and I put this effort towards it? So just future value, not only just right now what could be good, but what could be good 1, 2, 3 years down the line. If I'm doing internships now, it's taking away some time. I might not be able to party, chill with my friends. I might not be able to do as much right now, but there's better things that could be, down the pipeline for me later on that could really help me. Like before, I'm in a fraternity, this. So, I have brothers and friends that say, hey, let's go out, let's party, let's chill, let's do all those things. And although I would love to do that all the time, I know that if I put my energy towards certain activities, certain things, put my energy and time and effort into you, for you to learn things like this and to be on live casts and be on videos like this, I know me investing that in you, you'll either, invest back by, hey, looking into books or different things that I have, or you'll invest back into other people that may be trying to come up, either through school or behind you and trying to help, because it's a funny thing about when you help others, other people tend to want to help others. So, there's a future value that I see in this, and there's a future value that I see in doing certain activities, and future value that I see in working out and health. Health is a good one. You working out now, but you're not going to see any results till like 12, 14, 16 weeks, a year and a half, 2 years later. Those are usually when you see the results. You could get down and do 25 push-ups and 50 sit-ups right now, and your body's gonna look the exact same. So why struggle and go through all that if you don't see, if you're not seeing any tangible results? Well, it's because of the future value. That doing this now, at some point in the future, better things are gonna pan out for you. So that is the important thing. So those are the 3 things when you're trying to just figure out, okay, what should I focus on? How do I think about my priorities? 1, always start with your goals. What's your goals first? Because that's going to determine where you should put your energy towards. 2, once you figure out what your goals, figure out, okay, what are the best ways, that's the best and fastest ways that's going to get me there. You always want to be doing the most efficient things that's going to get you there. So try to think about opportunity cost. If I'm doing any action, anytime I'm doing something, think about, is this the best? Is this the best, time? Is this the best use of my time and energy right now putting towards this thing? Or could I put this same amount of time towards something else that's going to get me closer towards my goal? So make sure that you think about that too. And then the last one is the future value. Not only what's going to benefit me now, but also think about in the future. What kind of, you doing something, but it could also help you get networking opportunities later. It can also help you, let's say you join a fraternity, right? Or sorority. We talked about that last week. Right now you might say, it's too much money, that you could have some reservations about it, but the future value could be networking. The future value, could be you being able to build your resume in different areas. So you got to think about that as well. All right. So those are the 3 things that you need to know when it comes to prioritizing. Last thing I'm going to do, I actually just had a lot of people asking me about the graduation trifecta blueprint, right, which talks about the 3 E's: education, experience, and expression. What do you need to be focusing on a daily basis in order to make sure that you continuously, hitting every one of your goals and you graduate, get into the career that you want to get into, get internships, scholarships, all that good stuff. So what I'm going to do is, in the comments, I'm going to post the link in order to download that blueprint, and then you'll be able to know what you need to focus on each and every day. Because remember, the blueprint is like a GPS. It just calculates, boop, 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 calculate every time you fall off track, mess up, whatever the case is. Follow this blueprint, and you're gonna find yourself moving towards your goals even faster, whether you fall off or not. All right, so that's what we have for today. And if you have any questions, please ask your questions now. You know, I'm here, and it don't have to be anything that's related to you being in school or being in college. It can just be you, it could be anything that you're going through. It can be, something that you experienced. Just anything that's really going to help make this even better for you, or make your life easier so you can finish off this semester strong. All right. So if there are no questions, then I'm gonna go ahead and end it. I'm gonna end this week's live cast. Hopefully you found this very beneficial, and you continue to learn, you continue to grind, and you continue to stay focused. All right. So until I see you next time, continue to make things happen. Make sure you download. That's my gift for you today. Download this graduation trifecta blueprint, and you're gonna find things change dramatically in your life if you stick to it and stay consistent. All right. Until next time, see you soon.